Hello!
Hello, everyone. Happy spooky season. And a big hello to Dori. Welcome back, Dori. We've missed you so much. And would like to give a big welcome to everybody out there watching us. Welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here we're all about encouraging the 3 C's: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experience despite their distance.
Manny's muted.
Yes, you're muted, Maddie. So while Manny gets his muting figured out, why don't we just go through an introduction of the rest of the team here? Myself, I'm known as ClasicMac to my online community. My name is Kevin, and I'm a strong advocate in finding low-cost live streaming, which you're going to find out why tonight. And next to me is we welcome back Miss Dori, also known to her community as DSpence, using her superpowers to install confidence in those around her and helping others become experts in their own adventures. And then we have Manny, who did a disappearing act, who's going to be coming back very shortly, also known as Coach Manny, who's coaching us up in the world of social media marketing as well as pursuing his passion for true crime. Welcome back, Manny.
Can you hear me? I did
You
nothing.
bet.
I literally reset Google Chrome, refreshed, and I
Uh,
I don't know why that honestly that seems to happen on the stream a lot. And probably because I don't use Chrome a lot. I don't know. That's crazy. But I literally just had to refresh the page actually twice. But sorry, is it I my apologies on that. I don't know what happened.
you're good. We got introductions done, and we are going to kick it back to you if you want to lead the conversation.
Awesome. Well, one of the things that we're going to be learning today is how to use that technology you may still have sitting around in your home that may be a little outdated in your mind. Kevin is going to be bringing out some great things that I'm super excited to learn about. And that's exactly why I love this because I'm still learning technology, right? And so Kevin is that step ahead of me. I truly look forward to learning this so much.
So, yeah,
Kevin.
I'm if you do like the contents that you are about to learn, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you know whenever a new video comes up. Because we love giving this video or this type of content out to you and sharing it with the world. And like I had said before, I love low cost live streaming. So let's get into the content so I can show you exactly what I mean by low cost. So I'm kind of afraid here because I know I'm going to be dating myself by some of the references here. So I don't know if Dory and Maddie will be able to relate, or maybe they will be able to relate. But I've been a techie my whole life, and I know I'm going to age myself here. Since elementary school, when they introduced the Apple II and the Apple IIe. So, how many of you out there remember getting those into your school and have actually used them? Or were you thinking a lot of the people watching maybe after the fact that it was upgraded to a better computer? So that was in elementary. Then going into junior high, I was getting to play with a Macintosh Classic. Mac Classic. ClasicMac. See where I get it from? Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And then my dad got our first camcorder. The filming that was done was so much fun, but it's like, okay, now you have all this on these 8mm tapes. And yeah, I even did a stop motion video that was so much fun to do. I think I did stop motion for like 3 hours for like a 25-second clip. It was so much fun to do. And then as I grew older, I just started acquiring more and more tech. But I have all of these devices, and slowly the ways to play the data that you get from creating with these devices are disappearing, such as, remember Betamax? And how about VHS players, compact discs? They're all going away to now be a digital format. So now all of my media needs to be digitized so I can hold on to those memories and replay them. So I've been buying more and more devices to be able to convert that data into the digital format. And by playing with these converters, I found they're not just converters. You can actually use them connected to other devices for your streams. And I found out that I can use these devices for more than just converting into digital files. So, what's a better way to be a low cost live streamer than to use the tech that you already have? So, I connected these converters into my camera video devices and then plugged it into my computer to see if it would work. And lo and behold, it worked. So, that's an instant free piece of tech that you have for your streaming. So that's really what got me into playing more and more with the old or retro tech to see what else I could use in my streams to add variety. And the best part, the way they connect the tech to your computer is free as well. So let's take a look at the different devices that I have up to my stream tonight. I have numerous cameras, and I'm excited to show you how each of them are going to be connected. So first of all, how many of you remember the JVC cameras? And this was actually billed as, what does it say on here? It's billed as the YouTube camera because this was huge for the time, where you are able to actually upload directly from the camera up to your YouTube channel. So that was pretty advanced for this type of device. So now that I've introduced this device, let me tell you how it's connected. Using a device that's usually used to convert composite to digital. So you could also plug in an Xbox or other types of devices, and then stream it or put it into your stream and use it as a source for your stream. So Dori, you can put up the link for the Digit Now. This is the device that I'm using. It's called a Digit Now. And let me just switch on over. And let me do it. Unfortunately, I was unable to get it to connect to my vMix software. So where are we here? There we go. I was unable to connect it to my vMix software, so I've actually had to open it up in OBS, and it connected without a problem. So this is the Digit Now video converter, where you actually can plug in your different composite devices. Screen turned around here. So, you know, the good old red, yellow, and white, and then also the red, blue, and green cables that you have as well. And this device you're able to attach an external storage to be able to record. It has a record button on there. And then you can change your different inputs on here so that you can use either an HDMI input, the what is it, the YPBPR input, or this one is called the CVBS input. And then you can also stream it in 1080 or 720, depending on the signal that you have. So this, now that we actually have one of these cameras working, you can sort of see the type of quality that you can get is it's not great for moving around a lot, but it's decent for a steady shot. So the other cameras that I have here are, I actually have an iPhone 6 and it's connected via via NDI. So you can paste that NDI link, Dory. And I'll go through that as I go through each of these devices as well. And then another iPhone 6 that is actually using, it's called Camo Studio. And it's a free software that you can actually install onto the camera or onto the phone as well as onto your computer. So it recognizes your phone as an external source. So you can post that link as well. And then I also have, it's called a Vixia camera. It's one of the first HD cameras that I bought for myself. And it was touted to be the sort of the first YouTuber video camera where the screen flipped so you could actually see what you were or being recorded or streaming out to the internet. So it's a really cool device. And then right above that, I have my Sony DSLR, the A6000. Are connected via capture cards. And the piece de resistance is, let's just zoom in on that. Remember those?
Wow.
The Sony Handycams. I was able to get this functioning and my jaw just dropped that I could actually do it. And wait till you see the quality out of there. Because as you can tell with this, you don't get a clean display when you have your camera here. You get all the record, the time, the dates, that sort of thing. So unfortunately, you can't clean it off because of this display, but wait till we get to the Handycam and I'll show you what kind of display that we have. So let me just jump over to get rid of the shaky cam. I was starting to get myself a little seasick by holding that and watching out of the corner of my eye. So let's jump on over to the iPhone 6 that's connected via NDI. So I'm going to give you a true behind the scenes look of what the stream actually looks like. And the best part about this, you can disconnect it and put it on a selfie stick and you can just have a tour around. And of course, you can't hear me because I'm not facing my microphone.
We actually heard you quite well.
Yes,
Oh,
very
wow.
well.
That must mean I have an awesome microphone.
You do.
Haha. So, yeah, you can use this off to the side. I know some people that have streamed in multiple places, but like for instance, going live on Instagram, having people out in left field and trying to encourage them, hey, get out of Instagram land, come over to our Facebook stream. So talking to them like where your main camera is your main focus, and then every once in a while coming over and saying, hey, everybody over there in the cheap seats, come on over and join the fun, where you can actually comment and interact with us. So that's just an idea of what you could do with a camera like that. And then the next camera that we have is the other iPhone 6 that is using, it's called Camo. So this one is, once again, just an old iPhone 6, and being in the IT industry, I have access to a lot of phones that people are just disposing of. A lot of them are being disposed because of battery not lasting that long, but the camera is still good. So if you are able to plug it in and keep it plugged in constantly while you are using it, it's like, hey, that's a nice, cheap, easy camera that you can get with some decent quality as well. And then, once again, that is a Camel link. So let me just, I'll show you the software that I actually have running up in the background here. And back to sharing the screen.
I don't know about you, but this is absolutely amazing. When you think about like just the old type of tech that's sitting around, like I can look around my room and see things that could definitely be repurposed for my streams. So this is amazing, Kevin.
And if anything, it's a conversation starter. Like people are saying, hey, I like your having your different view, and then you have a third view of showing that first camera shot. And you're going, hey, that's a handy cam. How the heck did you get that connected to your stream? So So yeah, this is the Camo Studio, and it's super easy to install. And of course, this is a freemium version. There are some pro features if you wanted to pay, but this is the basic free version where it will actually detect, and you can add it, and it just picks it up and it just works, which I really love about that. And like I said before, rather than using it as a mobile cam, just have it as stationary, pointing at something from behind the scenes, like over your shoulder as you're getting prepped for a stream. Have that kind of shot. Or if you have products that you want to show off, you could actually just, like for instance, this is my phone. Just do a product shot and just have it solid like that. Or just have somebody keep everyone entertained. Have
Kevin,
it.
question for you.
You bet.
Can this software be used with Android phones as well as Apple?
100% it can.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah. And that is definitely one of the things that I look at when I come across these devices, because I am an Android guy by nature. So when I get an Apple, I try and pick up an Android as well. And so you could just go into the Play Store and go and download the software, and it just connects and works. So yeah, if you are upgrading your phone, no matter if it's iOS or Android, there are options out there with free software to be able to connect your device.
Is that the Camel one? The reincubate?
Once again, Manny?
Is that the reincubate website link one?
Yeah, that's correct.
Reincubate Camo? I think it's the Camo one. Is that the Camo?
Yeah, correct. All right, and then the next one was my Vixia camera. Like I said, this was my first HD camera. Um, and it's worked very well. I actually used it once I got my other camera as a top-down camera because I would be able to mount it above me and pull out the screen so I could actually see exactly what was playing down underneath. So if you're playing games, that's another use for using these types of things. If you're doing some sort of craft or if you're doing some sort of gaming and you need to show the table in front of you, doing a top down definitely would help as well. And the best part, you can do the top down and put it beside your microphone so your mic is not in the shot, but you still get the awesome audio as well. And I'm not sure if you're seeing it, it's sort of glitching a bit on me, but that's because I have 6 different cameras on me right now, and it's struggling to get that signal through. So just to save your eyes, I'm going to bounce from this one back to my main camera. And you can tell it's the quality is still pretty darn good for an older camera. I would say that's probably at least 10 years old, and it still has the mini HDMI to regular size HDMI. So just plugging it into a regular capture card works amazing. And then here's the piece de resistance, the Handycam. And like I was saying before, with the JVC, you had all of the record and the different things on the screen. The Handycam, it has it on the screen, but when you connect it, it doesn't. So here is, and take a look at the quality of this as well.
Yay!
Stop it. That's very sweet. I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
If you actually take a look at the quality of that camera, and I'm just going to step up and zoom out a little bit so you can actually zoom in. Like, I think that's pretty darn good for, I don't know how old that thing is. I remember getting it, was it 1990, I believe it was that I bought it, and it still functions today.
Does it come with the floating balloons in the viewfinder?
Well, I can come over and blow some up for you and release them for you. So that, in a nutshell, is how you are able to. Actually, no, I need to explain how that connection is actually made with that with the Handycam, and it's using a device. Actually, why don't I switch over to the camera? And we'll go back to the shaky cam here. I'm using what's called Dazzle. So if you want to put that link up, Dori, and I'm not sure whether you have seen this in some of the video conversions devices that are out there, and it's just DAZZLE or DAZZLE, depending where you're from and how you say it. Um, but all it is a USB connection all the way to your computer. And once again, you just plug in your composite devices into there, and then whatever software that you have on your computer. You can have some recording software, some converting software, or you could like plug in a VHS and plug it into your computer and just hit record and record all of those VHS tapes so that you now have it digitized. But for a stream, you could also play those VHS movies as well. And yeah, just adding your camera to that device and then plugging it in, I think is an amazing addition to your streaming setup.
That's
So that
awesome.
That is amazing.
is that's using what you already have. And like I said, I've started collecting tech since I was a kid, and I just hate throwing it out. Like if it doesn't function, yes, I'll throw it out. But if it works, it's like I hate to throw it out because it's a piece of working tech that I know I'll be able to use in the future. So all those iPhones that you have that are just laying around after you upgrade, Apple has been giving you credit when you return them because they're able to reuse some of the internals. But if you have some around that are still functioning, rather than donating them, use them because the cameras on these are actually phenomenal. So get them, plug them in directly, use the different software that I mentioned, like the NDI or Camo, and plug it directly into your streaming, and then you will have an extra camera, an extra view of, like I said, if you're doing a cooking show, doing a top down kind of thing, as opposed to just a front view for the entire show. So, just a couple of ideas there. So, I'm curious to find out what Manny and Dory have in their place that they're thinking could now be used as part of your stream. So, why don't we head on over to
You know, I would have to say this is amazing stuff. And as people who are in three different locations, we share how we connect. And here we are connecting again and learning. And let me say, what you really brought to the table was a wider scale of than more than just using your phone, because I like there is something on here where I can screen share and then be in my video, because I you've made it so much easier to have like a pet cam. Something that while you're having your stream and you go over to your pet, what is little Bailey doing today? It's like, okay, she's over there relaxing. Let me continue. Kind of because that brings a different scene. And what you're bringing as well are a capability of bringing different scenes. The one that came to your face right there, that was a different scene. And when you're streaming, one of the things as humans that we like is we don't want to keep our eyes fixated on one thing. We want to see some in and out, some different different visuals. And Kevin, you brought a wealth of ways to do that easier. I already started downloading that. I already forgot the name of it, but
the
Camo?
I
Camo.
already downloaded. Yeah, I
Yeah.
the link is different, but the name of the business, the website is Camo. Is that right?
It's actually, I think, Re-Incubate is the name of the company, but Camo is the software.
Yeah. Great job, Kevin. That's where I got a lot of value in seeing like this is a very important topic, and I knew I was going to be like all ears, like, okay, how much easier can this be? Because I do a lot of video stuff, and I want to be able to. I have one of my clients who does a cooking show, and she's got like four cameras set up. I think that you've helped me. Like, I'm going to be checking. Like, you got any old phones? Let's go with that route because I really want to get away from the Zoom portion. So I love the way you did that. That was super awesome. Bring in more quality of a camera as well. Dory, what about you? What was your experience there?
Well, I'll tell you the one thing that I thought about when Kevin mentioned he had 6 different cameras. I was like biting off my non-existent nails going, "Oh man, that is a lot of draw on a computer." And I think one of the things that Kevin did a great job of doing as far as pointing out is you you can have a lot of tech, but because you're using software or because of the type of connections that you're using, it's actually not going to put a lot of draw on your equipment. So if you are someone who just has a personal laptop, and you're using that for streaming to get started. You don't have to have something that has a lot of, let's call it guts inside there. You can get away with a machine that isn't super powerful because some of this older technology, it doesn't require a lot to work, and that's amazing. Um, Manny had a great point with using the phones as cameras. If you think about it, when people initially start to research what it takes to get started with streaming, they start looking up, okay, streaming cameras, mirrorless camera, a lens, and then adapters and everything. And you know, all of a sudden your screen is just filled with dollar signs and Amazon links, right? Um, but Kevin just pointed out, and please, audience, like, reaffirm my thoughts here that Kevin just proved that all those excuses that we have, that we don't have the right equipment, it's not the right time, we have to wait, that he just dismissed all of that and pushed it aside because we all have a phone of some kind laying around. We all have, I have about 5 video cameras downstairs in a storage bin that I'm sure could easily be attached using some cabling and some software, and I just think it's amazing. Um, I personally love the like retro tech that I've trained on and I've learned on. It's, I got a little soft spot in my heart for that. And I just know how expensive a hobby um, being in the tech realm can be. And I think it's important for streamers to know that they don't always need the latest tech to be the greatest streamer they can be. And, our friend Andrew, I think, just reinforced that as well. A phone is good enough. It's more about your message than anything else. And so I think that that's the biggest takeaway. And Kevin, I just got to say, it was an awesome walk down memory lane for me. I just absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved
You
it.
see, you guys are like miles ahead of me because I didn't like until COVID, I didn't take all this stuff so serious. Like I have a DSLR now, and then Dory, you helped me even get this set up so that I can use this thing. Yeah, before all of this, like I was just trying to figure things out little by little using a webcam, and it's like the when you really dive into it and seeing what's there. But you guys are like like even Dory, you were sharing how memory lane, and if you really think about it, like I wasn't there, but all that stuff he was showing, I saw that the speaker, the little dot, when you the plug in at the yellow, red, whatever. I was like, okay, that seems like I haven't seen that in a minute there. And it's like being able to connect all those things, like that's why I love what you shared there. Like I'm thinking, like you can really go on a bigger scale with what you have right there. Like, thank you.
Yeah, like even if you go hop onto Kijiji or Craigslist or different classifieds, people, they're just dumping their iPhones, like their old devices. So like maybe $50 you could pick up something that's decent to be able to use. And just remember, Apple does a good job on their cameras. So anybody, they're wanting the latest and greatest. It's like, but their cameras, they still are pretty darn good, and especially for stationary. Like I said, just focusing in on something as opposed to actually moving it around. And yeah, like the selfie cam that I had going on as well. That is actually a pretty decent for. That was an iPhone 6 that I have there that was connected. So but Dory, you're saying you have some other cameras. I'm kind of curious what other cameras that you have at your house there. Just thinking what type of connections and um, whether I might be familiar with some of those as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple JVC handheld cams. I think I have a Sony down there. Just you know, and this is the point too that I was trying to make. Like I'm a tech geek, and so when family members are getting rid of stuff, I'm the first person they think of, but Manny, like you made a good point too. Like you didn't grow up being like a
Techie.
tech geek like Kevin and I. I'm putting the wrong way, like Kevin and I, and but look at how fast you've learned. Like you've picked it up and you're running with it and you're doing amazing. So even if you don't consider yourself to be a techie, the things that we're sharing, I'm pretty confident that someone could pick them up and it's red wire to red wire, white wire to white wire, and it ends up in a USB port on a computer and you've got a stream, right? You've got a stream. So yeah, I'm thinking I got to pull out that bin and see what's in there now.
I
Definitely.
was thinking that too. I'm like, maybe my wife has like this old camera that was a one of those handheld things. I'm like, would that real work?
It would. It would.
Absolutely. As
Yeah,
long as it's functioning out of the box before you actually connect it. If you
absolutely.
No.
probably, yeah, you do need the electrical adapter because 9 times out of 10, I'm guessing the battery probably won't hold the charge anymore.
For sure. For sure.
Good point.
Um, but Kevin, I just want to say thanks again because this was a great stream to come back to because I'm just giddy. I'm just absolutely giddy. And Andrew was hanging with us tonight and he made a lot of great points throughout your presentation um, about, using what you've got. And he actually mentioned that he's not an Apple fan, which is why I asked specifically about the Camo software, whether or not it's cross-platform. And I think that you'll find most of those options, NDI, Camo, some other things, they are going to be cross-platform because streamers, they have the tech that they love and they stick with it. So Andrew's an Android and Windows guy. I myself, I'm an Apple gal, and I always will be. So
And I'm a
I,
free device guy.
I have a question for Kevin. You had six inputs.
Yeah.
Is that also like, because I know we both use vMix. Was that six new inputs you had to set up for each of those, for each of those cameras?
Technically, yes. One of them, I said I had OBS open as well because I couldn't connect the camera into vMix. So I connected that into OBS and then did a desktop share as an input of that camera on.
Nice.
So there's ways around it. But yeah, five individual inputs. Let's see, one, two, three physical connections with cables, and one was NDI with the software, and that's over the air. So yeah, very little push on the computer. And yeah, I'm getting
That's why I'm sorry. I'm so impressed because you had all of that in there. You must have a lot of power behind your computer. Like,
no.
I don't think you could do this on a laptop, could you? Like, unless it's a powerful laptop?
A gaming laptop, absolutely. I think you could. But it's just whether you have the inputs for the capture devices. That is the key thing. The capture cards. Whether you have enough. I
Okay.
have one, two, three USB capture cards
mhm,
to capture that, and yeah, the
Okay,
other one
gotcha.
and the camo was just strictly USB. So it was plugging into the Apple um, iPhone 6 and plugging in to the USB slot and just using that straight as a camera as opposed to and a capture card. So yeah,
excellent.
That's pretty
it's a
cool.
so I enjoy learning about all this new tech or the new tools to be able to use old tech. So it was a lot of fun for me to pull this. I not pull it out. I had it out, It's just finding out, okay, what's going to work with vmix, what's going to work with obs, and trying to find the cross, what's going to be the best way of presenting it. So hopefully people out there watching this got some valuable information on the different types of things and sort of what to look at. And if you enjoyed this type of content, definitely let us know in the comments, and drop a comment about what you would like to see in the future as well.
My friends, it is so obvious that Kevin brought some great value. And if you enjoy the content like this and are finding it useful, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe. Sharing our content is also a great way to spread the love because, as you can tell, we want to help you grow on your journey without excuses. Because at the end of the day, whether it's fear, Dori's conquering that, whether it's technology, Kevin's conquering that, and whether it's social media marketing, I'm conquering that. My friends, we want to help you in your world. So visit our website for information on all ways you can connect with us at Linktree, and you can see it right there on your screen /content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
So before we get Dory to sign off, everyone down in the comments say welcome back, Dory, and happy birthday. Hopefully you had a wonderful day and are going to end it with a huge smile.
I did have a great day, and what an amazing day to come back to you guys. So, on that note, I want to say a thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka a C3, tonight as we discussed using that retro tech in your streams. We return next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time when yours truly will be doing a live demonstration of the streaming software that I use to produce our show, Ecamm Live. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to lean into your 3Cs. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Hi.
Bye.